yourself familiar with everybody here, but are there a couple of guys who would be considered like dark horses to make the team that you're interested in watching?
It's hard to mention a couple guys because we actually have more than a couple guys on both the pitching side and the position player side. And I hate to cliche it, but we're look at all these guys and break with what we think our needs are and what's going to help us the most win ball games. But there's going to be some tough decisions. I think when you look at the competition in areas, they're good choices, but they're going to be tough ones, and hopefully they make it as hard as they can. And so I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of these guys, though, and especially the younger guys that I don't know that well.
How about if I mention one?
Okay, mention one.
How about Chase Lane?
Yeah, I mean, you look at how he's throwing a ball. It reminds me of a guy I had for years that had tremendous success. And to be honest, probably a little better stuff, and that's Romo. But he's intriguing, with his delivery, his stuff. It's an angle you don't see a lot of. He's got that little bit of an upshoot that they don't see a lot, so he gives you a different look. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him.
The two other pitchers that stuck out there, like not on the roster, were Cody, because he's pitched in the big leagues a little bit,
right,
and Jacobson.
Right.
What do you think about those guys?
Well, they're going to be in the mix. I mean, we're going to look at them, and like I said, it's pretty crowded. When you can only take 13 pitchers, and so getting back to what I just talked about, it's great to have these guys give us some great options, and we got next 35, 40 days to figure this out, and but I think they'll certainly make us better on all the arms I'm talking about that we have to choose from.
In left field, obviously, you're talking about having a lot of options to choose from with a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Is the general, Grossman signed to a big league deal, so I kind of have to assume that he's part of it.
Right. That's fair to assume.
Is the plan sort of to platoon him with somebody else against right-handed pitching?
I wouldn't lock into a platoon right now. You look at the numbers against right-hand pitching, you say, the splits aren't quite as balanced, but still, that's going to be part of the competition too. Is there somebody that we think might give us a little more of an edge against right-handed pitching? But the thing about Grossman is, he does have experience on that side too, and I think it's be fair to him to look at him at both sides. Now, you look at the other candidates, you got to look at what their talents are from that side, and so it's going to be interesting how that pans out. Tomorrow you'll see Frazier in left field. Smitty will be out there. Bubba's going to be out there tomorrow. There's some good candidates.
Josh, obviously he's a natural shortstop, but how have you seen him, moving around? How comfortable are you with kind of him playing wherever?
I'm sorry, with who?
Josh Smith.
Oh, Smith. I had a young one. I think he's comfortable moving around. He's already done it, so that's always a good thing, because it's not easy, especially. You think about making a club, and you want to do well every position you play, and but as much as left field, I think shortstop has to be a priority too, because that's always it's going to be a need. You got to give Corey his days, and so he's starting at short tomorrow, but he'll get plenty of time left field to get acclimated to playing out there. but I'm comfortable with moving him around. You know, I want to put him at second. I want to put him at third. I like to check the box off at first base, to be honest, too.
Bruce, would you like to keep Adolis in right just to protect his body, or would you get some consideration for center?
He's considered to play some center. You know, but most of the time he's going to be in right field. Yeah, he'll be pretty much on every other day playing here the first part of this spring, and but you know, just like Marcus, you know, I don't want to move him over to short. Just leave him there, and I don't plan on moving him there this spring at all. But with Adolis, I would like to put him in center a couple times, you know, just in case it comes up. You know, you like to have that box checked off.
Is there anything with the rules, since this is the first game, that you're curious to see how it plays out, or something that's just kind of in your head about all the changes?
You know what I'm curious is how they're going to handle it today. You know, it starts and today, so I'm, you know, we've had it out there, so they've been using it. And to be honest, there's some that, you know, have had some violations, and so now it's going to start. So I'm curious how they're able to handle it. You know, our thing is to make sure that the game doesn't speed up on them. You know, now we take away what our focus needs to be, and that's making a quality pitch. But we've been working on it, and you know, luckily all the teams, not just us, we got over a month, you know, to get this down. And they say that's about what it takes before they really start coming down to violations. I mean, just little things like rubbing a ball. They don't realize that clock's going sometimes. They're catching the ball and they're not on the mound, and they got to walk up there. It goes pretty fast. That's what, you know, some of them have said, and but it's been good for them so far.
You guys had to work on, when there's a runner at second, having the middle infielders be able to hold the runner but also not be in violation when the pitch is released. Is that something that you guys had to talk about at all, making sure they're not up the middle, keeping the runner at second close when the pitcher releases the ball?
Yeah.
Is that a...
Oh yeah, I mean that's something sure we've been working on. They could be up the middle, they just can't be across. So
Right,
you know,
yeah.
but no, those things are all things that we've talked about, and you know, now we set up your defense. Obviously, it's going to be a little different, and probably even more critical now that you get them in the right spot. You know, because you know you're not closing off one side, and you know, no question that's going to be that's going to be an ongoing process throughout this spring.
All right, so here's a rules thing I haven't heard brought up by anybody yet. I had to ask, 90 feet from home to first, is that to the middle of the bag or the front of the bag? Jason Stark said it's front of the bag. So the batters on an infield, you know, bunt or, you know, what would otherwise be an infield single, they still have the same distance to run. But now the first baseman is that much closer to the throw. Does that matter? Like, is that going to be the difference between, because you see a lot of bang bang.
Oh, I
plays.
think it's going to matter. Sure. I don't hard to quantify how many
Right.
hits, you know, there's going to be because of that, but you've seen them, especially now with replay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you know that's a call that sometimes you know, it's a tough call, and they may not get it right. But now with replay, yeah, that's the same thing. You know, on that stolen base, I think you'll. I mean, you're looking at like Bubba, for example. I'm sure there's not too many plays at first base that aren't bang bang with somebody who runs like that. So it's going to be kind of neat to see, you know, how big a difference it is.
Yeah.
We talked so much about the depth you have in the rotation. For a guy like Glenn Otto, what do you want to see from him in these games? What does he need to do to stick, honestly, in the roster, even if that's in the bullpen?
Yeah, well, you know, it starts with you know, throwing strikes. You know, that's the obvious. You know, I mean, he's got great stuff. I mean, but you know, pound the strike zone, and you know, you know, throw quality strikes. And, you know, he's got to have a good tempo, obviously, with the clock and everything. Be comfortable with it. You know, he's, you know, like all of them. You know, be competing. You know, to help out somewhere on this staff, and but mean, we like him a lot, trust me, and so I'm looking forward to watching him. These first 2 innings, first time I really get a chance to watch him in game action, and but just just be himself out there, trust the stuff, and go.